So this is a rumor, a speculation more so, that has swirled around for a while, a long time, depending on the circles you're in, but recently gained some new traction because of one of these, quote, industry insider tweets. I know, you love them. But I still find it an interesting possibility to discuss, and that's the possibility of Diablo 3 making its way onto the Nintendo Switch. Now, the game has come out on a bunch of other platforms, the PS4 and Xbox One, sure, but it was also on the PS3 and Xbox 360, so certainly not out of the realm of possibility that the game would run on the Switch. Also, and this is where a lot of the speculation on what is going on with Diablo has come from, there really hasn't been much news coming out of the team as of late. That's why I say something like this. You know, I've heard speculation over. Obviously, when teams sort of go dark like this, the rumor mills fire up, right? With Diablo having next to no presence at this past BlizzCon, speculation has ranged anywhere from Diablo 4 being in the works, a totally new game in the Diablo universe, a Diablo 2 remake, perhaps, which just shut up and take my money. If we get some sort of Diablo 2 remake, I don't even want to know what's going to happen to my life if that ever happens. And of course, possibilities of a Switch version for Diablo 3, among, several other things people have probably speculated. Now, this is one of the genres that would be simply spectacular to have on the Switch, in my opinion. If you follow me, you know that I regularly discuss how this thing was made for RPGs, primarily for their huge time sinks. And these ARPG dungeon crawler type games would fit for similar reasons. You know, the whole point is to just drop stupid amounts of hours into them, battling demons for better weapons and armor. Something like this would be great to always have at the ready. Myself, I put a few hundred hours into the PC version of Diablo 3 because, it had some problems. Very rocky start. So it was a bit of an on-again, off-again sort of thing, but Diablo 2, oh boy. I'm glad I don't know how many hours I put into Diablo 2. Because it was bad. Not PSO bad, but pretty bad. And it would also act as one of those more cooperative style online experiences that I've been saying we need more of lately. It's always more fun to team up with others and run around smashing things in these games, and it's also not super communication reliant. Like, if everyone just sort of sticks together and, knows what they're doing, you don't really need to speak with each other. It's not like you're doing a lot of things that rely on each other. You might be doing like some buffing and playing off of skills other people are using, but for the most part you can kind of do your own thing and just try to melt things together as quickly as possible, which I feel is another plus for those looking to play a game with randoms on a system where, let's be honest, very few people are actually going to be using voice chat, at least as long as they keep requiring us to use that app crap. Now, the problem with, say, Diablo 3 in specific for some people may be, as I stated before, the game is essentially donezo. It's not getting any more significant updates, which isn't exactly an exciting time to jump into a game like this, I understand. But I'd counter-argue, for one, anyone who wasn't playing this game at the start is a lucky son of a bitch, in my opinion. This game was a total dumpster fire when it launched, and took years, plus the first expansion really, before it started to look like something that actually may be deserving of the Diablo name. So people jumping in now would start with something actually worth playing. The game in its current state is pretty solid. And if they gave you the complete package, the base game, expansion, and the Necromancer, the last piece of paid content was just the Necromancer class. Plus, the game has had a fair amount of nice updates with new zones, enemies, gear, all that. If they gave you the whole kit and caboodle for $60, I'd say it's a fair deal. It would take you a long time to start from scratch in this game to get to the point where you feel like you have nothing to do. Maybe they could do a $60 physical version and a $50 digital version. Who am I kidding? They'd both be $60. But I think the value would be there for everything. And myself, I've stated in the past, I'm a big physical guy. Personally, any version of a Diablo game to have on one of those Switch carts would be worth it in my opinion. Plus, the season mode is a decent way to keep people engaged in the long run. If you're not familiar, the seasons in Diablo 3 are essentially a fresh start. Every couple months you can create a new season character and try to see how far you can get conquering specific challenges for rewards unique to that season. This is usually like armor and weapon cosmetics. And when the season ends, everything you gained, including your new character, it all rolls into your standard roster and your standard bank. So that way you can run around with your new cosmetics and show them off to everyone like, look at me, guys. I have no real life. Aren't I cool? Yeah. And I'm not trying to shill for Diablo 3 here. I think a game like this would be so great on the Switch. You know, whether it be from Blizzard, maybe they will do a Diablo 4 or a remake or remaster of 2. Can't Diablo 2 just get some sort of remaster, guys? Come on, I'd take that. I'd take that all day. If you follow this genre more closely, maybe you'd prefer Path of Exile port on the Switch. I don't know how likely that one would be, but you know, I'd be down for that as well. Path of Exile, in a lot of ways, is kind of the true successor to the Diablo games in many people's minds. I guess I'd be inclined to agree, but while Diablo 3 may be criticized for not having enough build options and stuff like that, perhaps, Path of Exile kind of has the opposite problem, in my opinion. It has too many options. Sure, call me a casual if you want, but those skill trees, guys, they're out of control. So yeah, just anything like this would just be awesome to have on the Switch, in my opinion. I'd be down to dump some serious hours into anything Diablo-like on this platform, and I think many other people would too. Anyway, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know if you'd be interested in Diablo 3 or some sort of similar game making its way onto the Switch in the comments. Do you like these types of games? Do you feel they'd be good candidates for playing on the go? As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.